going to attempt to kind of chronologically map out the next couple to a few months after finding out that our son possibly had the Trisomy 18 diagnosis. So we got our positive pregnancy test results on October the 17th. So shortly after that, you know, I had some like uteral pain, and I think that's when, you know, the embryo was attaching to the, you know, to the uterus. So that was normal, or, you know, it's also called burrowing, when they're burrowing into that uteral lining. And, you know, by the time I took the test, I already had that dark line on my stomach, which is called the linea nigra. By the time we took the pregnancy test, not long after that, my husband started complaining about pain and back pain, and he felt a little ill and nauseous, and, you know, my boobs start to get a bit bigger, and I felt a little tired and thirsty, not extremely tired or anything like that. So, you know, throughout that time, I remained optimistic. I had some nausea, but no vomiting. I didn't have any vomiting with my other son either, so I consider myself extremely lucky when it came to that. I had some cramping throughout the first trimester, and on my other channel, Forever Evolving, I kind of go through my different trimesters and my experience with that, and the vitamins and different things that I took during that time. You know, so it was pretty consistent, nothing really out of the ordinary. I did have some bleeding in my first trimester. It was a good bit of bleeding, but it wasn't extremely heavy. It was just consistent. So that had me a little worried about miscarriage and whatnot. But I didn't miscarry, never had that issue, just that constant, you know, light bleeding. Intercourse from time to time was a bit painful also. So on November the 24th, I had my blood drawn to get my NIPT you know, testing done, and I had the maternity 21 test. That's the one that I used. The ultrasound said I was exactly 10 weeks. I didn't hear a heartbeat at that particular ultrasound, but he was moving a lot, and his heart rate was 175. We got the test results back, and, you know, it was a 78% chance that he had that. And we got those results back on December the 2nd of 2021. The ultrasound with the OBGYN, you know, my regular OBGYN at that point, because of my age and because of the NIPT test, they went ahead and they referred me to maternal fetal care, which is the high-risk doctor that handles all, you know, chromosomal disorders or, you know, any other high-risk issues that mothers of my age would have. So, you know, we went through the process. I think I went to about maybe 4 or 5 appointments with maternal fetal care. At some point I just stopped going because, you know, we went back and forth about having an amniocentesis. They really wanted us to have one done, but we knew the high chances, and my husband was insistent that, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, we're going through with this. You know, he's going to stick with us, and we're going to do this as long as he wants to do this. And he wasn't having any other options. No options of, you know, ending the pregnancy or no amniocentesis, because when he heard the risks of the amniocentesis, he was like, no, we're not doing that. You know, just the thought of that needle penetrating, you know, PJ's environment, and the small risk, but still risks that come with amniocentesis, the infection, the miscarriage rate and whatnot. And when he heard that, he was not having it. So since we weren't, you know, planning on doing anything different with the pregnancy, we decided not to have an amniocentesis. And so at that point, we just were going to let PJ do what he wanted to do. And, you know, I really didn't continue going to those appointments. I don't even think I made 6 or 7 appointments. I think I really stopped around 5 to 6 times of going there, which was, you know, every couple or few weeks or something like that in the beginning, and then it kind of went to, you know, either slowed down or increased a bit, but I can't remember. But yeah, I do remember that I stopped going. So, you know, I just continue to do life as normal, and you know, and maybe some future videos I'll talk about, you know, the planning of that, and you know, not going to, you know, a regular doctor, going to a regular, not doctor, but hospital, but a special hospital. Or actually I had him at Duke University because they had more, it was suggested that we have him, go ahead and plan to have him there versus the hospital that was closer to us, because they had more capabilities to actually deal with his situation, because we didn't have an amniocentesis and we didn't know for sure, but there was a very high possibility. So we just went ahead and planned it like, okay, yes, there's high possibility that this is what we're going to be dealing with, and we'd already be there so they could deal with that. Yeah, so that's kind of, you know, my experience the first month or two, first trimester, dealing with that and dealing with the possible diagnosis, because we never confirmed it. It did not get confirmed until the day that PJ was actually born, because we were against the amniocentesis, or actually it was a split decision. I wanted the amniocentesis because I wanted to know for sure and wanted to better be able to plan. My husband did not. So the king of the house rules. So we went with daddy's decision, and we did not get the amnio. We just let things take its own course, and things actually worked out. You know, eventually we ended up losing PJ. However, the pregnancy and the birth and all of that went very well under the circumstances, and you know, I'm extremely grateful about that. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment section. I am very good at getting back to people, answering any questions. If you want to speak to me personally off of this platform, feel free to just message me that you want my personal email address, and we can go back and forth like that. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that I can. And I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Be blessed. This is my song for PJ.